this clever idea, you'll never look at an empty bookshelf the same way again. Start by clearing off an old unused bookshelf. Grab some decorative aluminum sheets. These will serve as a backing for your bookshelf. Lay your bookshelf on its face and nail on your sheets. You can opt to spray paint them, like I did, but it's not necessary. Use wood glue to attach small pieces of wood to the front section of the lower shelves to create a lip for smaller items to be stored. After that, attach wood to the top. Grab one of your large wood slabs and attach it to the top of your bookshelf. Use wood glue to adhere it, and then screw it into place in each of the four corners. Now, it's time to attach your copper pipe. Use a spade bit to drill holes through each of the walls of the shelving unit, making sure that they are aligned with each other. Feed the copper pipe through the holes that you just drilled, allowing ½ an inch to rest on the outside of either side. Cover the ends of the pipe with a cap on either end so that no rough edges are showing. Flip your card over and attach the bottom slab of wood as you did the top. However, instead of screwing the screws in from the inside of the shelf, screw them from the bottom through the wood. Remember to apply wood glue for extra security and screw 4 screws in at each corner. Then, attach your caster wheels. To attach your wheels, start by measuring and marking them out. Drill pilot holes through each of the screw slots in the wheels. Secure the wheels in place by inserting bolts into each slot and screwing them tightly in place. I hope this inspired you to take a second look at a piece of furniture in your home.
Do you have a bed with no frame? Do you need more storage space in your bedroom? Well, let's make a platform bed with storage. Let's start with the storage part of this project. I purchased a 3-cube storage unit and put it together in 10 minutes. Now for the bed frame. I painted 2 1x12-inch pieces of pine to use at the sides of the frame. I needed something to elevate the mattress, so using 2x4s, I cut to size and used a Craig jig to make 2 U legs. I placed them at the head of the bed and in the middle of the bed. I laid a piece of 3/4-inch plywood on top of the U legs and screwed them into the plywood. I placed the storage unit at the foot of the bed and screwed that into the plywood. The painted 1x12s were attached to the U legs using brads. I then laid a 1x2 beside the plywood on the top and overhung the 1x12s and nailed them in place. Then I laid a 1x6 on top to hide the seam and nailed that in place. After the entire bed was done, I painted everything white. At the foot of the bed, the storage unit wasn't as wide as the actual bed, and there were gaps on either side. So to close those gaps, I used 2 1x2s as a frame, and then I nailed another 1x2 along the side and a 1x12 to cover the gap. I then nailed another 1x2 at the top to finish. After that, everything was painted white. Now that the bed frame was complete, it was time to make the headboard. I had a piece of 1/2-inch plywood cut to size. I measured and cut 1x4-inch pine to frame the plywood. I just nailed those in place. I added 1x2-inch pine to each side and then a 1x4-inch piece of pine at the top. The headboard was then painted white. Once the paint was dry, I added 1x2 to either side and screwed them fast to the 2x4 U legs underneath the bed. Although this project has a lot of pieces, it was so easy to make. I hope this inspires you to elevate your bed to the next level.
I went to Walmart and grabbed 2 black fabric storage bins, some foam boards, headed to the thrift store, and picked up this matching set of wooden shadow boxes. Once I was home, I grabbed the shadow boxes, unscrewed the back, and removed it. Then I pulled off the art and backing that was glued to the back of the frame. After that, I measured the inside of the glass portion of the frame. I used my straight edge ruler to mark out the correct size square onto the foam board, then cut it with a sharp X-Acto knife. Then I laid my 8x10 photo on top and determined how I wanted the frame to look. I decided I wanted the top of the frame to be 1.5 inches thick and the sides to be 1.25 inches. Cut out the middle portion of the square again with an X-Acto knife. Then I took the frames outside and sprayed them with an even layer of spray adhesive, let it dry until it was tacky, then placed a scrap piece of linen fabric over top and smoothed it out. Then I cut out squares on each corner and trimmed off any excess fabric around the edges. Next, I flipped the frame over, sprayed another layer of adhesive, then pulled down the extra fabric around and glued it down. Once the frame was dry, I placed it in the shadow box all the way down to the glass, then added my 8x10 photo on top. Next, I assembled my storage bin. Then I marked the 2 pre-existing holes at the top and 1 at the bottom of the frame with some tailor's chalk. Then I drilled 3 screws in from the back of the bin just so they were popping out the front. Then finished screwing in the screws and securing the frame to the bin. I love how these faux hidden storage bins really elevated the piece. Now they look like pieces of art instead of boring bins and really add a little something special.
For my weekend project, I'm heading down to Walmart and grabbing a storage cube. I'm going to lay it out and open it up. These cubes are so easy to do. They come with all the parts that you need. You just take them out. They got directions. You can put the dowels in, put all the pieces together. They're all labeled, so you don't have to worry about which way they go. Also, it comes with the tool, the Allen wrench that you need to put all the screws in. Actually, it's really strong, but I think there's more I can do with this project. So I grabbed some scrap plywood and I cut it out to make it where it's just a perfect size. It does overhang the edges a little bit, but that's exactly what I'm looking for. Also in the back, I want to make sure it's flush. I'm going to use my brad nailer to hold the piece down to the storage cube. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab a pallet and I'm going to cut all the pieces up. I'm going to run my saw right next to the nails, not over the nails, to cut one side. And then I'm going to go down the middle and cut it. I'm going to do this on both sides to get all the little slats that I can from this pallet. Once I get them all collected, it's time to cut the ends because I used the skill saw and I need 90-degree ends. So I'm going to use my saw, my miter saw, to get it cut. I'm also going to cut all of these pieces up into random lengths. I don't want any of the sizes to be the same. Then I'm going to go ahead and start staining. I did choose 3 different colors to stain, plus some of them I didn't stain at all. I don't need to do the sides or anything, just the tops. And you can see I'm using multiple colors here with dark, pecan, and also gunstock. The first one I'm going to put down, I'm going to use some wood glue, start at the corner on one end, and I'm going to put this piece down that has a walnut stain on it. Once I got it down, I'm going to use my brad nailer to hold it in place with a few of the brads. I'm going to put some glue down, and this one is an unstained piece because it actually has its own color. I'm going to brad nail this down, 2 brads on each side, and then I'm going to start working my way down. All of these boards are the same width, but different lengths. So every time I put a board down, I'm going to use some wood glue and the brad nails to hold it in place. Once I do get to the end though, they are going to stick over. But that is not a problem because I'm going to put a guide on the edge and I'm going to use my skill saw to then cut all the pieces that hang over. This is going to give it a nice, smooth, right angle edge. Then I'm going to take my miter saw and I'm going to cut some scrap boards, and these are going to be that go around the edges. It's going to give it a nice trim look. Last but not least, it's time to put on some polyurethane. It goes on a little bit milky, but that's okay. Once it dries, it's going to be clear and it's going to give it a great finish. Now, once I get it all on there, it's time to bring it inside and take a look at this. I love how this storage cube turned out. It's got a nice top and it looks really good decorated. That way, it's got more of a tabletop to it, more surface area to hold more items. I love it, and I hope it inspired you to go ahead and think outside the box, grab a palette, multicolored stain, and make it look nice. Thanks for watching Home Talk, and we'll catch you next time.